G'day legends, g'day superstars. Peps here with Tipped Out's round one tips for the first week of the AFL season. A quick note about last night's game. Anybody who thought that was a cracking game of football was dreaming. Way too defensive in the first half. Yes, we know the pressure was up. For two teams to be training for 5 months and kick 5 goals between them, very, very disappointing. To see a result of a draw come out, I don't mind it. But for two teams to kick 16 goals between them for an entire game, Tony Lockett did that against Fitzroy in 1996 by himself. So really, really disappointing. The game needs to be a lot more attacking, and hopefully the trend is going to change a little bit over the next few games of round one. But we're going to kick it off tonight, Friday, March 17, 2023. Geelong Cats versus the Collingwood Magpies, 7:40 p.m. my time, which is Eastern Standard Time, at the home of football, the MCG. In a couple of debutants for the Cats, Tanner Braun and Oliver Henry playing against his former mob. Danny McStay, Bobby Hill and Tom Mitchell all coming in for Collingwood. Look, this is going to be a cracker. The premier from last year versus the most improved team from last year. I'm going simply with Collingwood for the simple fact Hawkins isn't playing. The team are a little bit older, and we know that teams that win the grand final the previous year may have a bit of a slower start to this one. And I'm just going with Collingwood. They don't want to be seen as a flash-in-the-pan team. And with Hawkins being out, I do think that is going to be a little bit more restrictive up forward. We know they like to have the Twin Towers like Carlton did last night. And so I'm going with Collingwood. I will say, though, if Jordan De Goey keeps up the form from the preseason, he could be in for a very special season. So I'm going with the Pies. We're moving on to Saturday, March 18, 2023. North Melbourne versus the Wet Toast Eagles, all the way at the second home of football here in Victoria, 1:45 at Marvell Stadium. Big news to come out of this is Todd Goldstein has not been picked to play. Sitting on around about 290 odd games. We want to get him to 300, but it looks like Clarkson has said, I'm going with the new guys. Also not going to be playing is Cam Zurhaar as well too, which is going to make it a little bit difficult as well. But stranger things have happened. We're going with Griffin Logers in, Liam Shields for his first game under Clarkson, and Harry Shield, the brand new debutant playing his first game. Good luck, young fella. In for the beautiful West Coast Eagles is Noah Long, Campbell Chesser, Jaden Hunt, and Ruben Gimby. I would say who looks like he could be a massive chance to challenge Will Ashcroft as the rising star for 2023. I'm really not sure which one to go through because combined these two teams loaded up 4 wins last year, which is absolutely putrid. So which one do you trust more? Do you trust Wet Toast, who looks like they've had a cracking off-season, or do you go with North under a new coach with a little bit more zhuzh in their step? Funny enough, I think I'm going to go with West Coast on this one. With Ben Mackay not playing, Zurhaar not playing, it's going to make it difficult for North to stop and also to kick goals as well too. And I just think West Coast has something to prove. Ruben Gimby is going to be an absolute superstar. And Jaden Hunt, good luck to him leaving the Ds, coming off a half-back line, will offer plenty of run. And at Marvell, we know games are really, really quick. So I'm going with the West Coast Eagles to take out that one. Alrighty, in my eyes, this could be the game of the weekend. I know Jamie is absolutely packing darkies when it comes to this one, and we know which one it is. It's the Port Adelaide Power versus the Brisbane Lions, 4:35 p.m. at Adelaide Oval in the two big recruits, Junior Rioli and Jason Horne-Francis for the Power. Have a look at these ins for the Lions. Josh Dunkley, Will Ashcroft, Jack Gunston, Connor McKenna. My head, my heart, my gut, everything points to the Brisbane Lions starting their season off on a positive. 4 massive ins. They've got a cracking setup as it is, and in my eyes are the team to beat this year. But I'm going to push all of that aside, and I'm going with Port Adelaide because simply they have to win. They had a 0-5 start last year. They've got a 0-5 potential start again against hard teams, top 8 teams from last year, and it's going to make it really difficult. These are teams that they need to beat. And if Port Adelaide are going to stand for anything, because at the moment they'll fall for anything, these are the games that they have to win. So against all of my judgment, against all of what my body is saying, against all of what my psychic predicted earlier in the week, I'm going with Port Adelaide. And good luck to Kane Farrell playing his 50th game as well. All right, 7:25 p.m., another belter of a game. It was the 2021 Grand Final. It opened up the 2022 season last year. It's opening up the 2023 season for these two teams. It's the Melbourne Demons versus the Western Bulldogs, 7:25 prime time at the MCG. And have a look at the ins for the Ds. Brodie Grundy, Judd McVie first game, Bailey Laurie first game. Good luck, gentlemen. And Lockie Hunter coming in for his first game with the Demons in the red and blue. Oscar Baker, the former D, coming in. And Rory Lobbit High is coming in as well. We know that the Western Bulldogs have the Manhattan forward line with their four big talls. And it is going to be amazing. Are they going to be able to sustain the Melbourne backline? Stephen May is not playing. It's going to be difficult. You've also got to realise that Bailey Fritsch isn't playing. Jack Viney isn't playing. Christian Salem isn't playing. I am still going to go with the Ds because I think that they've got more firepower within the midfield and I know what their forward pressure is like. And as soon as the ball comes to ground, they'll be able to lock it in. Gordon Grundy can sit a kick behind the ball, stopping the advancement of the tall forwards. But if the Doggies midfield of Smith, Bontempelli, McRae can get the ball down to those forward line of Darcy, of Ugelhagen, of Lobb, of Norton, it could be a very destructive night and there could be some severe goals being kicked. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm just going with my guys with the Ds. I just think that they're all round a better team, but it would not surprise me whatsoever if the Doggies take this one. I'm going to say this is going to be a close one and it's going to be under 2 goals. All right, moving up to the Gold Coast Suns and the Sydney Swans at HBS, formerly known as Metricon Stadium, 8 p.m. on Saturday night as well. Bodie Uland is playing his first game. Good luck, young fella. And Ben Long playing his first game for the Suns. Tommy Roker, the awesome follower, and one of the greatest outlaws ever to be a part of the lace-out community, gave me the tip that Bodie would be playing his first game. No new recruits for the Swans. The Suns need to get off to a great start. We know they did persist a little bit longer last year. Ben King is hopefully going to be back in the team as well too. It is going to be a close one. The Swans want to regain themselves from what happened last year. King isn't playing, unfortunately, so I will take that back. Oh, actually, he is playing. I'll take that forward. I'm going with the Suns. I just think I like what I see. I think if it's going to be their time, it's going to be now. They want to get off to a good start, and they need to beat a team like the Swans. The Swans have got no reason why they can't win this. Parker, Haywood, the McCartan twins down the back, Chad Warner, Goulding, Isaac Heaney, I've gone blank, number 14. You know what I'm talking about. Absolute Callum Mills, absolute guns. But I just think that the Suns have to do something. And I think they could pinch this one by under a goal. I think it's going to be tight. But I reckon that they need to win this to get across the line and just start their season off on a high. Because if it doesn't, the questions are still going to be asked about Stewie Dew and whether he's the man. I think he is. All right, let's move on to Sunday Fun Day, March 19. We've got the GWS Giants at Giants Stadium versus the Adelaide Crows. Have a look at these new ins for the Crows. Max Michelini, Isaac Rankin, Tyler Brown, all coming in. No one new for the Giants. Well, the Giants, new coach, new game plan versus potentially one of the most dangerous forward lines in the AFL. Walker, Rankin, Rochelle, Fogarty. We've got Tex Walker down there as well too. Remember him. You've also got Philthorpe as another one that could potentially cause some damage if they decide to keep him forward. I think Adelaide are going to be the team that surprises most this year. They have been building for a number of years, and I think this is the year that they could potentially strike a spot towards anything from 10 to 6 on the ladder. Someone has to rise into the 8, and out of all the teams, I think it's going to be them. That saying, I'm giving the Giants the benefit of the doubt by just playing at home. If it was the other way around, I would have gone with Adelaide. But I think I just trust the Giants at home a little bit more at this particular moment in time. They haven't got Hopper. They haven't got Taranto. They're out. But they have got a superstar little kid there running around called Finn McGuinness, who is going to be an absolute gun for them. Toby Green captaining that team. What more could you ask for? And one of my all-time favourites, Jesse Hogan down forward. Hopefully he has a great year as well. So I'm going by the Giants, and Giants by 3 goals. There's not going to be much in this one. All right, Hawks versus Essendon, 3:20 p.m. These guys have been rivals for 30-plus years, all the way back from the early 1980s until now. We know the line in the sand game. We know that It's always something going to be happening between these teams. Coming in for the Hawks for their first games, Carl Amon, Fergus Green, Lloyd Meek, Cam McKenzie, Dylan Shield playing his 200th game for the Bombers. Sam Wiedemann, good luck, big fella. I know it didn't work out, but a fresh coat of paint down at the red and black will be great for you. Elwyn Davey Jr. is going to be making his debut. Will Setterfield as well too. Some sad news was that Peter Wright looks like he's done his shoulder at training today and will be out for a significant amount of time. Literally the day it was announced that he's going to sign a contract extension at the Bombers for a number of years. So you get the good news and you get the bad news in the one. Now, before that, I probably would have gone with Essendon just because I know what Peter Wright is and Hawthorn are that developing team pretty much from scratch. By not having their key forward who kicked over 50 goals last year, I'm going with the Hawks in a bit of a surprise. I like it. They've got a bit of spunk about themselves. Lloyd Meek is going to be brilliant for them. Carl Amon on the wing is going to be great. You've got Will Day. I just think that they've got something to offer, and this is a game that could really set themselves up for a good season. They did win 8 games last year, and I think they're hoping to do something similar, and these are the games that they need to win. And if Essendon start off with another loss, it could be another very long season. And then we go to the graveyard shift. St Kilda versus Fremantle, 4:40 at Marvell Stadium. Zane Cordy, Mateus Philippou playing his first game. Anthony Camantidi is playing his first game as well. So good luck, gentlemen. Liam Stocker, all the way from the Blues, is coming in. Will Brody playing his 50th game. And for the Dockers, Jager O'Meara playing his first game. Matty Johnson's in there. And my old guy, the great number 6, Luke Jackson, premiership player, gone across on mega dollars, mega contract over to Fremantle. Look, let's be honest. St Kilda are running on the smell of an oily rag. If you're not injured, you're not on St Kilda's list at the moment. They're richly scraping the bottom of the barrel at round 1. Fremantle have to knock them off. If they want to see themselves as a potential top 4 team, they have to win this one. The interesting thing is that when I look at this team and I look at what Fremantle have to offer, my concern is around their forward line. Will they be able to kick enough goals? Will Fife be able to deliver? Switowski, Schultz, we know what he can provide down forward. Frederick provides a lot of run, dazzled it up last year, and we know Luke Jackson and O'Meara are going to do something on the flank. So you never know, but they still haven't been able to have that Tabernar. They still haven't had that Pavlich that's been able to step in. Looking at the other end of the gram, you got Gresham at full forward. You got Dan Butler. So a smaller forward line, Matty Owens, Brad Hill. It's going to be the small boys versus the more established, and I'm simply going with Fremantle to take that one out, and they're going to take it out quite easily by about 5 or 6 goals, I reckon. I think the speed will take over towards the end of the game. So there you go. It was a quickie. We're literally going by what the heart says and not the head says at this moment in time. It is round 1. Anything can happen. I could look like an absolute superstar or look like a complete flop. You leave it to yourselves. But here's what I want to say. For everybody who joined us on Tuesday night, it was a cracking show. Great to have you in. We're going to be back Tuesday night on our Facebook page, on YouTube, Lace Out Live, 8 p.m. And like I said, if you want to sponsor the show, get in contact with us. Drop us a DM on our Facebook page and you can sponsor a segment, sponsor the show for the year. We'll be able to work something out because we're really looking to promoting our Lace Outlaws on the show, and it helps us out a little bit as well too. But most importantly, I hope your team wins. Have a cracking weekend of footy, and we'll see you Tuesday night. It's tipped out. It's how you want your tips. And I'm your host, Christopher Pepper. Have a great weekend, listeners.